Hi, this podcast is designed to help you connect theory with real classroom practice. In today's episode, we are diving into one of the most influential learning theories in education, led by Vygotsky's social cultural theory of cognitive development. Together, we explore what it means, how it works in classroom, and how it compares with other well-known theories. Now, let's get started. When I was a student, my teacher told me that learning is your own business. However, for me, the truth is we are never alone during learning processes. Lev Vygotsky, a Russian psychologist in the early 20th century, believed that learning is not an isolated activity, but something happened through social interactions. He argued that our thinking develops first between people, that is, intermentally, and only later within ourselves, which is intramentally. At the heart of his theory is the idea that culture, language, and relationships shape how children learn. This is known as the social cultural theory of cognitive development. Unlike Piaget, who focused on individual exploration, Vygotsky emphasized that we learn best when supported by others, especially those who know more than us. Now let's break down two key ideas: the zone of proximal development and more knowledgeable other. Think of the CPD as the sweet spot between what the student can do on their own and what they can do with help. It's their potential, what they are ready to learn next. The MKO is the person who helps them get there. This could be a teacher, a peer, a parent, or even a digital tool, anyone with more knowledge or skill in that moment. Together, they form the foundation of guided learning, a process where students are gradually supported until they can complete tasks independently. So how do these concepts manifest in practice? For example, you could encourage private speech and self-talk. This allows students time to talk through their thinking, supports metacognition, and internalize learning. Meanwhile, we may also tap into students' cultural background. This is to value the knowledge and experiences students bring, use culturally relevant examples, and allow multiple ways of expressing understanding. Remember, we are the MKOs, but not the only one. Recognize that peers, digital tools, or resources can also guide students. We can foster a community of learning, not just a top-down model. Instead of only testing what students can do alone, you may also want to try dynamic assessment. This is to look at how they perform with help to understand their potential. Now, one powerful strategy is scaffolding. This means offering support like hints, cues, or models, and gradually reducing it as the student gains confidence. Here is a specific example based on my own experience of schooling. Imagining we are going to teach creative writing in a primary English lesson. First of all, the teacher as well as the MKO could share stimuli such as a short video clip or image of a mysterious forest. This shared stimulus becomes a social and cultural tool to build a common learning context. A class discussion based on this will be encouraged. For example, we can ask students, what do you see, hear, or feel in this place? What kind of story might happen here? Therefore, students brainstorm sensory words in pairs and record them on a shared board. It draws on students' personal experiences and cultural imagination. Next, teacher writes a descriptive paragraph on the board while narrating their thinking process, highlighting use of figurative language, sentence variation, and sensory detail. After that, we may ask reflective questions such as, why do you think I started with the sentence? This is scaffolding in action, demonstrating cognitive processes and internalizing of thought through private speech. For the next step, students are paired strategically through grouping stronger with less confident peers as creating peer MKOs. They can co-construct a setting paragraph together using a checklist. This process is supported by teachers and is within the ZPD. Students rely on each other and the teacher stretch their descriptive skills. Now it's time for scaffold fading. Students now write their own setting paragraph, while the teacher offers targeted support only when needed, gradually stepping back. As scaffolds fade, students apply what they've internalized, marking their move from assisted to independent mastery of the task. Lastly, we may allow students to reflect and evaluate their performances with the group. This also reinforces metacognitive growth. Now, this is a good sequence of learning based on Vygotsky's theory. This also applies think, pair, share techniques. Students think about the question and jot down key ideas, then pair up to discuss. Finally, they share their ideas with the class. This structure supports students at every stage of thinking, encourages collaboration, and builds confidence. Now you might wonder, how does Vygotsky's theory compare with others? Let's consider Albert Bandura's social learning theory. Bandura agreed that learning is social, but he focused more on learning through observation and imitation, introduced concepts like modeling and self-efficacy, emphasizing how behavior, environment, and cognition all interact. While Vygotsky's theory is about guided interaction and internalization, Bandura is about watching, modeling, and reinforcing behaviors. In practice, they often overlap. A teacher might model a reading strategy using Bandura, and then guide students to try it themselves with help using Vygotsky. Both approaches show that learning is not just about textbooks, it's about people. Now let's give a holistic think about what this means for teachers, students, and schools. From a teacher's views, Vygotsky's theories encourages us to tailor support, monitor students' responses closely, and adjust instruction dynamically. It also means trusting students' potential, not just their current performances. For students, it creates an environment where asking for help is normal and expected. It builds confidence by showing them they can achieve more with the right support. And for schools, it promotes collaboration, inclusion, and differentiation. It's especially impactful for English language learners or students with additional needs, as it values their background knowledge and support development beyond surface level performance. Of course, no approach is perfect. Scaffolding supports learner by providing step-by-step guidance tailored to their current abilities. It encourages active engagement, builds confidence, especially in students with low self-esteem or learning difficulties, and helps minimize frustration by breaking tasks into manageable parts. It also fosters independence and deeper understanding over time. However, scaffolding has drawbacks. It is time-consuming to design personalized supports for every learner, especially in large classrooms. Teachers may struggle to release control or implement scaffolding effectively without proper training. Additionally, many curriculum details lacks clear examples. As teachers, we must learn to balance high expectations with flexible support. To wrap up, Vygotsky's social cultural theory reminds us that learning is not just something students do, it's something we build together. By understanding concepts like ZPD, MKO, and scaffolding, you can create classrooms where every learner feels supported and challenged. If you would like to explore more, you can check out the reference list of this poster. And finally, remember, your role as a teacher is not just to deliver knowledge, but to guide growth. Thanks for listening, and good luck on your teaching journey.